Be you. And I think that's one of the most important for us as women. Is like a lot of times they don't let us be ourselves. And when you're yourself, it shows. I am Thunder.
All right, Jobber Nation, welcome to another episode of the Jobbertears podcast lounge, JTP Lounge. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here. We're so Wilkins. We are waiting for Mrblacc to pop up, but you know how he does. But we have a very special guest with us this evening. Before she gets all busy this evening, she took some time out for us, so we do appreciate it. So anybody that comes on, I don't introduce them. They introduce themselves because I can't do it no better than you. So let everyone know who you are.
Well, I'm the best of the best, of course. La Mera Mera, the one and only from the graveyards of Tijuana, Mexico, the NWA former World Women Champion, most popular female wrestlers in the planet.
There you go. There is no other.
Was
Miss
that
Rosa.
was that good?
That was perfect. Like that, I couldn't do that because I can only say Miss Thunder Rosa. But I mean, I'm gonna need you to get that NWA title back though.
Whenever that happens,
So once again, thank you so much. TikTok.
Yes.
So no, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We want to ask a few questions, get to know you a little bit better. It's underrated. Like I feel like you are super dope. So I just wanted to let you know that before we start. Like I didn't really start watching NWA again until I saw like you and then other people that I knew, and I was like, all right, they got some people working now. And then honestly, you're probably one of the best on AEW, but I'm just gonna throw that on the table.
But we got to give her a round of applause for killing it, though. Killing it. Like, what you've been doing, your body of work, like you said, is some of the best in the business right now. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I have a level of excellence that I like to achieve on every match that I have. And when I don't, I get very upset because I had become, finally, Mrblacc. For coming late to my show. I appreciate you.
I apologize. I couldn't find my webcam.
Man, poor Wilkins was like, we gotta wait for him. And I'm like, I.
My bad. I couldn't find my webcam.
Yeah, Mr. disrupted me, but that's okay.
No. I'm a huge fan of your work.
See?
This is a real honor. I'm blushing low key, even though that you're not right next to me. But continue, Janelle. Continue. Let me just admire her beauty.
Go ahead, take a moment. Gather yourself, gather your questions, because we're gonna lay it on her. Okay, we're gonna ask her some questions tonight. Yes.
Yeah, you're in the intimacy of my room. This is actually my room. I have a
it's intimate right now. Do you have a toy? You have an action figure?
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff. So this one was made by one of my. She's a local artist from Austin, Flighty Works. She made the whole thing and everything. She designed it, and this is handmade with the flower.
Oh, nice.
I was supposed to raffle this one, but I fell in love with it, so I just kept it. And I made one just like this for.
Nice.
He has like the cutest thing ever. I'm gonna post it one day, but I haven't posted it yet. Then this is handmade. I have a guy in Mexico who makes all my figures. So one of my figures from one of the gears that I have. I haven't wore this on TV yet. Probably not because I don't like it very much. But, but it's one of the ones that I have, and he made this. Then another guy is another. He's another local artist. He made this one. It's made out of t-shirts from one of famous gears, two-sided. He was selling it on Etsy, but I was like, "Yo, you can't be selling that on Etsy, bro." I'm sure. And then I have pictures and stuff. Like I have a lot of art that I really, really love. This is a gift from one of my most loyal fans from San Antonio, Mr. Carlos. And he actually went to the fair, and because he knows that I love Selena, he put Selena in the background because I'm the Selena of professional wrestling.
Now that's a bar.
And then this one, see right here, local artist, he does body paint. He made it for me. It's humongous. It was a gift. So he wants to do body paint with me, but I haven't had no time whatsoever to do it. And that one was, I brought it from Mexico. I have a bunch, like fans. I love art from my fans, but I don't have enough space. I have so much put on storage. But once I get my home, my big home, my office is gonna be just plastered with posters from Japan, Mexico, all over.
Wow.
Yeah. So wait, favorite Selena song?
Which one?
You tell me. Favorite Selena song?
Damn, that's a hard question, man. Got me. To sing "Tú Solo Tú" and what is that? Man, there's so many. I have so many. Let's see. Hold on, because I got my Selena.
Oh, we legit.
She's a fan.
Only loco, quisiera 1,000,000 costumbres, 100 años, me robaste mi corazón, ya no quiero. This is an old CD. This is Siempre Selena. A fan gave it to me too, so
that's really dope. So wait, did you like the TV series that was on Netflix? Did you watch it?
Oh, I learned how to appreciate it. That's at first I wasn't like a fan of the actress because she didn't look like J-Lo. So but then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a chance, and then we gave it a chance, and I mean, we enjoy it. We watch it as a family. It was pretty cool. I finished watching it completely.
We got some other Selena fans on the live feed.
Yes, a couple of them.
I like Dreaming of You Too and Si Una Vez. I like singing all those songs.
Oh, so you do like karaoke? Like, do we need a host?
I was the queen of karaoke when I was in Japan. I had a friend, one of my best friends. He's like me in a Japanese version, older, a guy. Oh my God, we're always together. We'll go karaoke all the time, like at 3 a.m. because it's open 24/7.
That's the best time to go karaoke, though.
You'll go and sing all like Filipino sounding songs, and I'll sing whatever was in Spanish or in English. And then the next day I had to work, and you were at karaoke, did you? And I'm like, yes, I was. But it was great. I have great memories from Japan.
Didn't you start off in Japan?
You know, that was the first 3 months in the business.
How did you end up in Japan 3 months into the business? What kind of story is that?
Cheerleader Melissa was at one of my trainings one time when I was still training in the Bay Area, and I was very curious all the time. I was asking her how to do certain things to become successful in the business, because she's one of the most successful women that I knew coming from the school that I went to. So started from there, curiosity, and then she saw that, you know, I had potential, and she asked me like from one day to another, hey, you want to go to Japan? And I'm like, when? This was April, the beginning of April to July, and I was in a full job, so I was like, I don't know, I didn't have a passport either. So everything lined up. I had to drive. No, I'm serious. I had to drive from Oakland, and I had to lie to my boss. I said my mom was sick, and I had to go to San Diego. So I drove for 10 hours to San Diego, not knowing if I was going to get an appointment to the consulate, because I wasn't an American citizen yet. I was a Mexican citizen.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, when you get your passport, they give it to you the same day. So I got an appointment. The appointment I seriously looked everywhere in the state, and that was the only appointment available. So I got in, and then I got my passport, and I told my boss. They all knew that I was trained professional wrestler, and I was, you know, already having some shows, and they were all very supportive. So they gave me a little balance. So I kept my job. So it was good. They were super
gangster. Who's able? You can't even tell your job now that you're sick, because then all hell breaks loose.
Oh, what do you mean you sick? You know, we need to know. We need a doctor. We need a blood sacrifice of your firstborn. Then you get the week off before they say it's COVID.
No, they supportive on my other, you know, dreams, because I was always talking about professional wrestling, and I always talk about professional wrestling with my clients, because I back then I was supporting young adults that have mental health and drug addiction and alcoholism. Ooh. So they were rough clients. Always like, hey, dude, like, you can change your life, you know, if you make a decision, and you don't have to be a prisoner of your diagnosis, because a lot of diagnosis, they were, you know, suicidal, depressed. It was really, really bad. It was very severe. Like the last couple of clients I worked, they were very, very hard to work with. And then, so they believed that what I was doing, it was like complementing everything else that I was doing with clients. Because I will take them to like wrestling shows and
wow.
Times I had one client and his dad that were homeless, and just to keep their mind from their problems, I'll be like, just come and watch me at the show. I got free tickets. I'll get you a hot dog, whatever you guys need, and I will just treat them like they were royalty. They loved it. I remember. I actually never told memory, but I remember seeing the dad. I come out and he's like out of his seat with the biggest smile. He's like, yeah, Thunder Rosa. He's going like nuts. And then the show is over, and he just came to me and he was like, thank you so much. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. Like, you definitely are just a blessing to like us and all the clients that you work with. And I was just like, you know, but it was really cool. Like, working in that environment really made me realize how blessed I was on the things that were happening to me in my life. And just like that right there, that's when I made a promise to myself that I was never going to stop, no matter how difficult it were for me, or in any case in my family, because this road is not easy. There you hit so many roadblocks that you are not expecting. And you know, like sometimes that you're the only, you and whoever else, like my husband, like you're the only two people that believe in what you guys are doing and nobody else is. Like, you're missing something. You're not friends with somebody else. You're not in the good cool kids club. You know, you have an accent. You don't have boobs. You don't look like the other girls. You know. And I was like, whatever it happens, I'm gonna make it happen. You motherfuckers are not gonna tell me no. That's exactly
that part.
That part, like
that part.
So I have a question. So some of the people that you take to the show back in your 9 to 5 days, are they still fans of your work to this day?
Let's see. I have some of my clients actually that when I first started training, the name of Thunder Rosa came from Thunder Road. I used to work as a supervisor, so I supervised 47 teenagers in two units, 3 actually, 1 female and then 2 male units. The females, that's what I got really, really close with. And when I left, I actually was cleaning my room and I found a couple of the letters the girls like wrote me, and saying how an inspiration to reach to bigger heights and like achieve they thought they would. And there is one, she lived in San Francisco. She texted me a couple of weeks ago, and she has a kid now, and she's out of the street, all that stuff. She said that I was very inspirational. But the main one, her name is Cookie. I love her. I worked with her when she was 18. Now she is, I don't know, like 27, 28. I met her before she got pregnant. Then when she got pregnant, this is when I was like on my way out for my job. She asked me to be the godmother of her daughter. So, yes.
Wow.
That's really dope.
She's totally the total opposite that she was. She's doing a great job being a mom. And she's very proud of saying that her godmother's, Auslin's godmother's, it's a badass. And she's always be like, oh, I love you. And then anytime I can't visit them as often because I've been so busy. I try to like send things in there and taking care of them. I always think of them. They're amazing. So yeah, like there's a little things that you can do for people's life and change their perspective about life. Right. And that's what I feel like I did with Cookie, like having that extra thing and extra support emotionally. Another
Okay, so I got a couple of questions. I don't know how much questions they asked, so well, I have my own set of questions. So
we only got to the intro. Like that's all.
All right, fine. Well, first things first, let's start off. I want to start with the one basic question. So tell us about your background, how you was brought in your childhood. Describe our childhood to us. Your childhood to us. My bad. Yes.
I was man. Oh, sorry. My phone is about to die. I'm just making sure it's not dead. I got 7%. Oh my god. All right. So I was a weirdo. I was a tomboy of my house. There is how many girls are in my house? I was at the middle of 4.
Okay.
Yeah. I was always very driven and very I knew my life was gonna be bigger than I thought it will be. Since I was a child. Like I was like, I'm not belong here. As I used to say that. My parents were very loving. We didn't have a lot. I lived in a 2-bedroom house with like sometimes 8 people. There's no privacy. I never had a room for myself. Never. I always like slept with my sister or with a roommate or with my husband because I married super young. So when I go to a hotel, I'm like, yes, freedom.
That is the ultimate thing to do. Is when you're in a hotel, you're like, yes.
I mean, I love my husband, but
still,
we both love like being like sleeping in different beds. Yeah. So it was really weird. I never did sports. My parents didn't really allow us to do sports. I believe they were for boys. I want to play soccer. Like then I got politics. Politics. My dad did not like that at all. But I was like, guess what? I don't care. I politics, and he saw that I was always very like giddy and smart and a smart ass and loud mouth, and I just kept going, and that really helped me to develop the confidence at speaking in public and just reaching to other things that I never thought I would. And definitely coming to the United States was what made me as a person, because I become a U.S. citizen. I always dreamed to go to college. So I reached all of those goals. I became the first one in my family to graduate from college, the first one in my family to go to like a 4-year university. For that matter, I went to UC Berkeley. And
you smart. She's smart.
But the funny thing is, like, I didn't believe I was smart because I was with the smartest of the smart of the public schools, and I didn't speak English. My writing was really bad, and I struggled. Oh, I struggled so much.
Wasn't your major sociology?
Yes. So I was
that's not easy.
No, it wasn't. Just learned how to speak English when I was like 22. Like my husband.
Wait, what?
And shit, American white. So like it was like he was drilling with me classes, like my English classes, and after college, because I was taking college classes, I was going to adult school to learn English. So I was doing all right.
When did you come to the country?
I was 17.
Okay.
Oh, that's why.
What? So wait. Hold on. So let me backtrack this.
Yes.
You was 17, already married, and you was going to what happened?
I married at 19. I wasn't that young.
Oh, okay. So you were 17, going in college, studying sociology, and at night you was taking English classes. How the hell were you able to keep up your college work and keep up with the English classes?
I don't know. I just did it. No, I'm serious. It's like now. It's like I'm with wrestling and have all my businesses and then I'm doing MMA and like trying to like be a wife and a mother. Sometimes I'm not the best because I'm always busy, but I mean at the end of the day it's like I want to leave a legacy bigger than me, right? And sometimes you have to sacrifice so much, and people don't understand like the second shift that like women have at home after coming from work and everything. You still have to take care of the kids, the husband, everything. So you want to make it work.
Yeah, that is so true though.
So what inspired you to start wrestling? Like where did that, chapter in your life, you were like, all right, I'm going to take a few bumps. Okay. All right. No, I'm going to run ropes. Like where did that all come from?
being rebellious towards my parents. Because at that point, I was already living with my husband. My husband was completely supportive of me doing sports. Like, he's the one who introduced me to, like, what he introduced me to. Like, he used to go to volleyball classes with me. He used to go to swimming classes. Because I didn't know. I learned how to do a lot of stuff when I was older. Because I was never able to. I never had the means to do it. I didn't never travel when I was young. My parents didn't have money. So the first check that I got from financial, I took everybody on a vacation. Because we'd never been on a plane. Right? So it was like, I did everything when I was older. So wrestling, I was introduced by my husband. I didn't like it. I saw it with my cousins when I was in America, and I was just like, what is this? Fucking ridiculous. Like, you guys are watching what? Like, why is that guy wearing a big clock and rapping? You know? And it's just like totally out of context. You know, I was like, I was not watching TV at that point. I was just being like intellectual. I wasn't all, you know, reading books and, you know, being all smarty pants, trying to pass my classes. And then I graduated from college. I had my first job on social work, and it was super stressful. And I needed an out, and wrestling was that out. Like, I feel like a lot of people use wrestling as their escape from reality. And that was, for me as a fan, my escape from reality. Like, I started going to this like really outlandish shows called Hood Slam in the Bay Area. I made a lot of friends. I used to stand in line for 2 hours, 3 hours before the show started just to hang out with the guys and the girls. I met wonderful people, and then me to go to watch a more serious show called APW in Hayward. And that's when I was like, oh, there's a school for this. And there was a tryout, and my husband was like, just go, just try it. I mean, what's going to happen? You're going to get bruises, and then you're not going to like it, and you're just going to come back. And I remember going there. I challenged myself. I got like fifth place, because if you win the first and second place, you could have won a scholarship. Of course, I didn't. And some other girl, she never made it. So.
You said it so casual. She's like, some other girl. She never made it. It's okay. I have to remind you that she's not me. Remember that.
Mm-hmm. That's why the reason why they call me La Mera Mera. It's not just because it's a gimmick. I'm telling you, I live that lifestyle. That's what's up.
Question.
Yes.
So, how'd you end up in MMA? What's this all about?
Well, listen, man. There's some times where your career goes like this, and then the next day is like that, right? So, it was 2019, and it was like a very rough year for me, because that's when I knew I was knocking on doors, and just everybody was like, "Yeah, you're good, but you know, we don't want them to put a hood on you." And I got released by Lucha Underground that year, and I was like, there's nothing for me in wrestling right now. I was about to quit, like, completely, and I went and asked a friend that is a referee if there's an opportunity to do referee for WWE.
Oh wow!
I just wanted a paycheck, honestly. Didn't want to be hustling. I was tired of hustling. I was tired of people not giving me an opportunity or saying that I wasn't a draw, which that's one of the things that pisses me off the most. Because every time I told them my fee and I showed up, people will drive 5-10 hours from wherever they work to come and watch me. So for people,
can you do me a favor? Explain what a draw is when people say that to our listeners.
But when you're not a draw, it means that you can't sell tickets. Like, you're not popular enough. Like, I didn't have the name. I wasn't a second generation wrestler. I wasn't in a mainstream TV show. I was just an independent professional wrestler who'd been hustling for 5-6 years, who owned her own professional wrestling company before called Sabotage, because nobody was giving us an opportunity in California. And I was like, fuck it, we're going to make it happen. So it didn't matter. It was just nothing that we were doing like really mattered. And I was getting tired of it. So I asked for that. WWE reached out, and they're like, are you ready to hang up the boots? And at that point, I was like, I don't care. At this point, I don't care. And then Sexy Star just started doing MMA, and she did a crossover. Then they Combat Americas was Combat the Global now. We're looking for another one. And they were like, are you interested? And I was just like, yeah, why not? I mean, I do jiu-jitsu. Like, how hard is this? damn, I didn't know what I got myself into. Like that really, honestly, like grounded me. Like having to do MMA grounded me so much in terms of in getting in the square circle right now, and knowing how to like really bleed feels like, and when people like are trying to kill you, right? And it's not like, let's work together, brother. This is a touch the clothesline, you know. No, it's like some real shit, and it gives you that grit, you know. And I think that MMA was something, a blessing in guys, and it has helped me with discipline, with consistency, with, like I said, with a different perspective. Every time I'm in the ring, it's on for me, and everybody, you can see it once I come out of the tunnel or when I come out of the curtain. You guys saw it in NWA. I mean, they call me the Hammer for a reason, and I came in there. I came in there not to make friends. I came in there to get myself over, and that's what we've been doing. So MMA, I'm still training MMA. Supposed to have another match or another bout soon. I don't know when, because right now wrestling taking my life.
Well, you popping right now in these streets.
Yeah. But I have to stay ready, and that's one of the things that I didn't do was like in the last couple months, because we've been traveling so much. It's been so much disruption to my training. But I'm getting back to it. I'm and I need to get back to start doing and everything. Ready for the next step.
When did that shift happen? When things started getting more busy for you? Because you mentioned that things went downhill. You get into MMA, but when did that second gear of your career start? Was it with NWA?
Yeah, when we started Power, the first season. I think people started watching and they're like, "Who the fuck is this Thunder Rosa chick?" Like a lot of the old timers, they were like, Rick and Morton. I always remember like the first match that he saw me, he was like, "Excuse me, young lady, I've seen you before, but shit, when you're talking about coming here just to make a statement or getting over, young lady, you came here to get over, and you did a damn good job about it." And every time he sees me, he tells that story to everybody. So and yeah, I went there, and then they were like, "You're gonna be the Hammer. This is the storyline with Melina and my dear Marty Bell," and that's what I went and did. And I honestly didn't even know I was gonna get the championship or gonna earn the championship. That came later, and I was so out of shape. This is after my fight. I was like, I gained like 20 pounds, and I was like not even exercising. You can see the little handles, like, and I'm all jacked and shit because I'm cutting weight for my fight, and then I come back all like, "What's up, guys?" Like,
had the Chichos out.
What was that?
You had the Chichos out. You had the Chichos on the side.
Yeah, dude. I see that, and I'm like, man, I never want to be like that again. Never again. You know.
Not funny.
You know.
Yeah, but so when you went, so you went up with your career at NWA. When you were with Lucha Underground, it being a Netflix show, it being, you know, highly regarded within the community.
Nothing for me, but teach me how to work on TV and be like on my feet, because I was put under the fire, and I'm like, honestly, I was not ready for that. I was very, very green, and I was like tossed into the fire, and I was like, you either swim, sink or swim. And I decided to swim, even if I was sinking most of the time. It didn't translate the way that I wanted to translate. The fans loved the character, and it really did help me to like develop a character that wasn't me. It was Cobra Moon, and it went over. And I used to make them mad because some of the veterans will be like having all these crazy matches, and I'll just be coming with Drago, like shaking my ass and slithering, like, "I'm more over than you, and I get paid the same, huh?" You know, I just learned how to like be you know, sarcastic about the whole thing, because I knew I didn't have the in-ring skills at that point. But I was working my ass off, man. It was like times in where I would live in the Bay Area. There was no lucha schools. So I would like drive to LA or take the mega bus, stay with Holidad, because Holidad was living in LA, for a week, train for a week, come back, do all my shows, stay for a week, then go back to LA and sleep in somebody's floor, sleep in my car, stay with my cousins. Like, I'm telling you, like, the hustle was there, and the passion and the need to get better was there always. So the last season, that's what it really kind of like pissed me off. It was the worst season that we have, and that's the season that I did the most crazy stuff, but nobody watched it. And notice like that there's a lot of improvement from the first season to the last season, because I had more like indie shows. I was doing a lot more stuff. The style that they were requiring, I was more fearless, because I trusted all the people. But unfortunately, it didn't translate for Thunder Rosa. Then I got into the wild thing. They put another hood on me because they wanted to get another masked wrestler. Nobody wanted to do it. And again, it's like being diverse and multifaceted. And I was like, man, paycheck is a paycheck. I'm gonna take it. At this point, I don't care. I've did it before. I did Cobra Moon the first season, and then I split from Lucha. Then they give me Serpentine, and I was just having fun with that. And I had really good matches in that show. And I remember the first season, they only gave me 3 matches. So I was pissed. Like, really, motherfuckers? Like 3? Okay, I see how it is. And and then I also start seeing like a lot of like, let's keep it real. There's a lot of racism in professional wrestling in certain places. So certain comments were made about me being a masked luchador that really enraged me. And I called my husband crying that I want to leave this place right now. And he's like, why? Somebody said something really disrespectful to me, and I need to keep it quiet because I need this job. And it really, really pissed me off. Then I do the next season. I had no expectations. I was literally getting ready for my fight. This is in September. My fight is in November. And I'm in fight camp, full fight camp. So I'm like losing weight, trying to train while I'm there. They gave me 6 matches. Then I had to go back and train the whole entire weekend. I came back like I couldn't feel back or anything. But it taught me a lot, because again, some behaviors never change. Some things they didn't change. I saw some treatment, a very good treatment to some people. And I made a promise to myself that if I to create something with my husband or with my family for women, that I was going to be transparent, and that we're going to be treated with respect, and that we're going to be treated as athletes, not as like pieces of ass or whatever else it is. And 2020, that's what brought a lot of women and men with all the stuff that were said, and a lot of the things that happened. And we created Mission Pro Wrestling to celebrate the strength of women in general. And that's why 99.9% the people that work there are women, all the positions that are there. So
that's wow.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so what are some of the life lessons that you got from working with Lucha Underground?
Life lessons, perseverance, trusting in yourself, being confident in your abilities, not allowing people to take your shine away. I think that was the most important part. And speaking up. I think I was one of the people that, if people were they used to walk all over me and never said anything, because I was like the green girl, or did everything they wanted with me. And now I don't do that necessarily. I get in trouble for speaking up and be like, no, that's not how it goes. Like, just because you've been on the for such and such time doesn't give you the right to treat people with disrespect. Point, period, blank. I was yelled at in front of all my peers when I was a green girl multiple times by multiple people, and I don't appreciate that. And I don't want no one ever to go through what I went through. I don't care how young they are. I don't care how bad they are in the ring. I wouldn't do that. I will give them the worst feeling, going to your room in a hotel room, crying eyes out, so disrespected, and you can't say anything about it.
Dang. You said something that to me that kind of stood out to me the most. You said, never let anybody take your shine. And that to me alone is very important because not only is important in entertainment, but important in life. Can you please like break down why is that so important? It's not like nobody steal your shine.
Because if you allow people to walk all over you, and you know what you bring to the table, it just messes with your confidence and messes with your mental health because you feel that you're not worth it. Then you start questioning yourself about, oh man, that may good enough, or maybe this and this and maybe this and that, and you just got to be so strong to just do your thing. And I tell like a lot of the young girls that come into different places that I work at, I'm like, just be confident, and let's work together. Like, I mean, for me, it's always about working together to make each other look good. It's so important because the match is not about one person. I mean, if you want to do that, go to MMA and beat somebody's ass. Just plain and simple. I'm serious. But that's
she's right. Yeah,
that's why I love MMA, because you can think you're the shit, and then you bring your hand down, boom, there you go, KO'd. And bitch, you gotta train harder because you just put your hand down. So it's like that's with professional wrestling is it takes two to tango. So I try to be as kind as possible. Yes, I'm stiff and I'm hard and that's how I wrestle. But I like to make my opponent feel comfortable in the ring.
Nah, I fucks with your stiff wrestling. I like it. I like it.
But yes,
I like it.
Just to respond to your question, because I went I sidetracked.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Trust me, you're good. Trust me.
What I was gonna say is like you gotta be you, and if that means that you have over the other person over, that's not your fault. It just happens sometimes that way.
Dang. So Wilkins, go ahead.
Janelle.
No.
Oh, Janelle. Oh, my bad. Oh, wow. My bad. I'm looking at you. I didn't know it was Janelle. My bad. Sorry, girl. I love you, boo.
You can't hear you, Janelle.
Yeah. Dang. No.
Okay.
She's gonna come in and come out. So I'll ask the question. So you're killing at NWA, and then you get the call from AEW. How was that like?
How do you think? Oh shit! I better not shed the bed. Straight up. I was super excited because like the trolling worked. My husband is on Twitter trolling everyone because he's on a lot of the times he's on my Twitter account. That is not a surprise. He manages a lot of my social media, and he put it up. He put a post because Sheeta said that she was like, it was an open challenge, and he's like, so what's up or something. Viral. I was like, yo, what are you doing? I'm gonna get in trouble. And then like a week after, I get the call from Billy, and then William Court, and he's like, hey, so there's an opportunity, blah blah blah. Here's the deal, wooty wooty woo, and I was just like, okay, right on, because I know they were interested in working with me, but because of my contract, I wasn't that able to. So I was like, you got to talk to NWA. So they contact them, and then that was it. And again, talking about getting over, like the first match that I had with Serena Deeb, like right after it signed, and then that was one of the best matches that they had at that point. And the other thing is that we actually got time on TV, which was something completely weird for the women's division in September or August. And just little by little, we'll be building it up. And like I always said, and I said it multiple times, is showing that you're consistent, showing that you can have good matches no matter with who they put you on. And they know that you're money right there, that you can be ratings, that people are going to be watching because they know it's going to be consistent, because they know it's going to be good. Fans want to see good wrestling. They always want that. Because you can have a spectacular match with a bunch of flips, no story. But when they have a match and they're emotionally invested, there's a story behind it. They're more than willing to tune in and keep watching how it, evolves and what it evolves into.
Facts. Go ahead, Janelle.
Oh, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, yeah. So what has been probably the biggest obstacle being an owner of a company?
In terms of what?
Like just in terms of, has it been hard to get students? Has it been hard to get funding? Like, what has been some of the obstacles in terms of building your own promotion?
At the beginning was sponsors. I think people were not ready for what we had. We were promoting a lot of professional, like women's professional wrestling. And then we moved into the intergender wrestling because it was very popular. So I think that's one of the things that it was very, very hard. I mean, in California, we had wonderful shows. We always had a great following because all the fans that used to go there, they used to be friends of mine that used to be when I used to be a fan. So they've been following my career for a long, long time.
That's awesome. So
we will have them I lived with Oakland. We drove to LA. We fly to LA. We had our shows in LA in the ghetto, like in East LA.
Oh,
nice.
But it was good because like people were super into them. And then we moved them to San Diego because I lived for a minute. We did the first all intergender show in the state of California. Then I was working a lot here where I live, and I was like, there is no women's wrestling. This is an untapped market. And I told him that I moved to Texas. He's like, you're crazy. I was like, no, I'm not. Believe me. So we moved. We used to drive the girls over here, have the shows, then they fly back, and then we'll drive back to fucking Oakland. And then it was hard right there because I think we weren't like as business savvy as we are now. The second time we opened another company, which is Mission Pro Wrestling, we actually had a mission, and that was to represent women in the wrestling business in a way that has never been done before. And I'm talking about people taking the tickets, putting the ring together, agents, production, because I'm really big. Like I said, I worked in so many different companies, and women are not well represented in production, just in general. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe we a little bit better, but not in other places that I worked. And also I wanted like women making some of the decision, most of the decision making in the business, booking, writing, agency, everything. Because like I said, there's so many women shows that are run by men, that are booked by men, that you see the same women in there, just be one for one way or another. Don't ask me why. And like a lot of things don't change. And this is like I always feel like it was like a sorority. Never feel like a real sisterhood. And that's what we've been doing with Mission Pro. Like, I know I always give a speech. I make everybody cry because I'm very passionate about it. But it's like, I want the talent to understand that if we take care of each other, and I'm talking financially, if you're working in another place for $50 and you're trying to come to Mission Pro Wrestling and trying to charge me $200, you are doing a disservice to the business, because I am going to treat you like nobody else has treated you before. And you can ask anybody that has come to our show. We treat them so well. And another thing is like, we really I believe in the sisterhood. Like, we have to take care of each other. And this is a speech that I always give. Today is you. Tomorrow is going to be the girl that is coming, that is a student in another state. You got to make sure that if somebody made a favor for you, and that was a woman, you have to repay it back by doing a favor to somebody else. Because that's how this is how we keep that good circle of good going. Because otherwise it's like, I don't like that bitch. I don't like this girl. I don't like this. I don't like how she works. Well, tell her that she sucks. Tell her that she needs to work on something else. Right? I mean, for me, it's making the division, any division, even in the indies, better. And that is by training, by giving the opportunities to train, opportunities to work with better people, and giving opportunities to those who probably never or haven't had opportunities in their careers. And one that comes in mind is La Rosa Negra. Like, she's one of the best workers, and I'm so like in awe that not a lot of people know it. She can work so many different things. But he was not literally. I give her everything. If this is you're gonna give everything you have until you achieve it, or you're done. But when you're around me, I'm gonna be your support, your pillar. You can come to me. I'm gonna give you this because you can do this, and you're fucking talented. And I say that to absolutely every single girl that comes in, or I feel like they're struggling. That was come and stay in my apartment. You're probably gonna sleep on my son's bed, and my son's gonna sleep in the living room. You can come and train with us. I want them to get better. like I said, somebody did it for me when I was in Japan. Somebody took care of me, and they still, when I go, they still take care of me. Kimura-san, who's Hana's mother, and I keep repaying the same thing when I'm in Japan and there's a new girl out there and she doesn't know her way. I go out of my way to help because I did it for me. So it's that's my mentality. I'm always like, I'm a social worker, so I'm always helping other people. But that's what I came to the world to do, is to change mentalities and change and break barriers of what things can be and how good they can be if you want to put the time in it.
So what do you think is the biggest barrier you've been able to break?
Biggest barrier? Going back to being a draw, that women's wrestling is not a draw. We draw 300 people during the pandemic, almost on every single show. And you tell me that we're not a draw. We are the most watched show on Title Match Network. And he has tons and tons and tons of shows. And it's growing every month. Last month it was 35 or 40 countries from all over the world were watching us live. Right?
And that's an accomplishment.
That's an accomplishment.
Wow.
If you give the women, the time and the effort, and you believe them, and you make them believe that they're real athletes, like saying that we are athletes, they're gonna give you 120,000% on their performance, and you let them themselves. And that's the most important one, the part, breaking that barrier, and where women can be whoever they want to be. They want to be sexy. Let them be sexy. Let them come in. La Rosa Negra likes to come and shake her ass and be sexy. That's her. You want to be weird? I let you be weird. I don't need you to be cookie cutter and like do all that stuff. Be you. And I think that's one of the most important for us as women, is like a lot of times they don't let us be ourselves. And when you're yourself, it shows. I am Thunder Rosa. I am the embodiment of strength, fierceness. And I'm gonna fuck you up if you make me mad. That's embodiment, you know.
Nah, that's amazing. Quick question, because we're talking about breaking down barriers. You're talking about, taking over the world, fucking chicks up. Your match with Britt Baker.
Ooh.
Was it last month, right, guys?
Yeah, a few weeks ago.
Last month. Yeah. Did you think it was gonna make such an impact after it was all said and done?
Yes.
I didn't think it was gonna be that huge. I knew it was big when everybody was on their feet clapping. And when I went back in the locker room and everybody was clapping. Every single person in the venue, like the young bucks, like Kenny, everybody, they walked out to say congratulations to us. Like, I've seen that before in Lucha Underground with Rey Mysterio. And we were all like literally crying because it was so beautiful. And this match was just that. It was so violent, so bloody, so beautiful in a way that it needed to happen in another level. Like I said, I was very proud that I was one of the people that was able to deliver this, and that they trusted me with that, because they put a lot. I mean, there was a lot of pressure. Like, I was very nervous.
Did you help produce the match?
Well, yeah. I mean, I gave a couple ideas, but it was Jerry Lynn helped us tremendously on that, and
love Jerry Lynn.
And Britt has some crazy ideas, and I was just like, you are absolutely nuts, but if you want to do that, go ahead. Other cliff notes next year when I can actually talk about this. Yeah, it was challenging, mentally challenging for me, because there was a lot of pressure, and I wanted to make sure, just like I was telling you guys, if this was MMA, I wouldn't give a fuck if she got hurt. That was my job to fucking kill her. But on this one, you still, even though I wanted to kill her, and that's the storyline, I still have to make sure that she was okay with all the crazy things that we did out there, which I think we were able to accomplish. And just taking by it, like podcast, live feeds people. The guy from Eve made a live podcast about how the importance of this match and how it needed to happen, and how it's never going to be able to be it's not there's something like that's not going to happen again because it's like the first one on a national level, right? And
so I got a question. So where do you go from that match as far as the women's division in AEW? And that's one of my questions. And my second part of the question is, do you agree with some of the criticism that AEW faces when it comes to the women's division?
That there is something that people need to understand. We don't make the last decision on who gets booked and who does this and who does that. Like I said, for me personally, when I show up to the ring in AEW, NWA, or anywhere else, my job is to elevate whoever is with me in the ring, and that'll continue to be my job. With blood, with ladders, with chairs, with nothing but wrestling, I will continue to do that. People can continue to criticize AEW, the women's division in general, but we are growing. This is our second year. It's gonna take a little bit of time before you can see a tremendous amount of growth, because we have a lot of very young talent that never had any experience on TV. And that's a huge, huge difference. I've been a wrestler for the last 7 years. I've been on TV for 5 years on 4 different companies, or 5, I don't even remember. So that's a huge difference. That girl that comes from the indies and never worked TV, that she only worked at Hardcam. That's a huge difference. A huge difference. I teach my students from day one, even when they're rolling, where the main cam is. Seriously. But not every school teaches like that. They teach them arm drag, hip toss, whatever. And they forget to teach sometimes the most important part, which is character development and working the cameras. If you want to be a star, you got to act like a star from the get-go. But it's because, again, I had the blessing to work on a major TV company. Well, not major, but big time company like Lucha Underground. Was very Hollywoodish, and I learned so much from that. And I don't think if I would have had that opportunity, I wouldn't be so spunky and like ready to like just do a bunch of stuff. I'm just so used to the lights and the cameras and everything. I wanted to be a soap opera, so there you go, soap opera actress. Now I'm a violent soap opera actress.
I know you don't got much time with us left. I know you gotta go soon. Janelle, anything else?
What are your how do you think international wrestling translates well in the United States? Because you mentioned, you've worked in Japan, you're from Mexico. Like, do you think those styles of wrestling translate well in the United States?
If you know how to do it well, you can. You can do certain style in a American TV show per se, because they're used to seeing a different style of wrestling. You have a hybrid wrestler, and know the American psychology, because every country has different psychology. So you just have to adapt to it. I think that's what makes it so successful.
Wait, so for viewers who may not be familiar with other styles around the world, what's the biggest difference from Japan style, from American style to Mexico style? What's the biggest difference between those 3 styles?
It depends, man, who's putting the match together. Like the young girls, usually they hit the same move 50,000 times. Yeah, watch the matches. It's like a progression of things. Lucha is very fast paced, and they have a different style of the times on how they do things, and it's very acrobatic, super acrobatic. And the holds are super tight, and then they have 2 out of 3 falls. You don't really do that here in America. And then America's a lot slower. You see a lot less in some aspects. I'm saying all the matches, a lot less movement, and it's more dramatic, and it's people are more they sell more. So those are the big differences that I see in some of the matches. And the same with Mexico. Some of the matches I was like, oh my God, when I went. I was like, hey, yo, I got a booking tomorrow. I know you like to kick people in the head on the corner. I'll take one, but I'm not gonna take 2. I was actually doing that. I have a story. I did a TV show, and this girl, she comes and she takes your head. She called for another one. I literally, as she was running, I rolled out of the ring. I was like, fuck you, girl. You're doing it to the corner, because you're not taking my head off. I got out. But this thing about lucha, you can't just roll out of the ring and just like act like it's part of the show. I was like, no, whatever.
You mentioned a lot of things about speaking up for yourself, and something what you just did right there, protecting your body when it's like person about to knock your head off. How hard is that, especially when you're green? Because a lot of people talk about you kind of got to when you're putting a match together, you got to like speak up, especially when somebody's asking to do crazy things. How hard is that to like when you're in another country and a person's home and you're like, nah, I'm not doing that.
It's hard because you want to be respectful, and sometimes it's like, ooh, because it's like again, it's veteran level. So if you're like on the bottom, you just got to do what they tell you to do. Like back from my concussion, I was out for 3 weeks in Japan. I had a pretty bad concussion. A match. It was a tag match with Io Shirai and Mayu Utami. I took all the bumps at the end of the match, all of them, and there were some of them that were really. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm gonna die!" Like I could totally gotten concussed again, but I wanted to show that I was tough, and I couldn't say no to it. So I took all the bumps, and then at the end of the tour, I earned their respect because I didn't bitch about it. But if that would have been me now, it would have been like, yo, guess what? Maybe the other one can take it because I just got out of concussion. But I know more. Before, it was because I was green. I wanted to be respectful. I was in the country. They were giving me a second chance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But now, like I said, it depends also with who you work. And for me, like trusting your opponent is so important because some of the moves that we take, they're dangerous. So, and you never know. You can be... Every time before I get in the ring, I always pray for my opponent and me that come out the same way. Because you never.
Amen.
That is true. Any last questions, guys, before we go?
I'm just gonna say a statement. I came kind of late. I apologize for being so ignorant to your time, Miss Thunder Rosa. But
Mr.
I like to say thank you. Thank you for just being you. You don't understand how important you just being yourself on AEW means the world to a lot of females out there. And you create a different diversity that I'm not used to see on American television. I got introduced to you and many other girls through Lucha Underground, and I was just so amazed. Like, wow, the entertainment, they are badass, they do everything. It was just a great mixture pot. And shout out to Lucha Underground for introducing such a different side to women's wrestling, and to see you on AEW, to see you on NWA. When I see you come in the ring, I know that the match is going to be taken seriously because you in the ring. And I low-key be so bought into your matches. I said that, oh man, she going to knock her head out. I'm going to cheer for her. And what that I like about you is you put your own flavor into your costume. You came out with a Warriors outfit. I said, oh man, this is why she is my favorite. You put everything from your ring work, from the way that you look, from the way that you sell. It's honestly, if you had none of those pictures behind you, I just think that you're just a very pretty Spanish woman. Okay, cool, she's pretty, but then in the ring, you're a totally different person. That is called being like knowing your character. And to me, you're a big inspiration to me. You're a big inspiration to every other girl I talk to. The fact that you're able to like aspire a person who don't look like you, that to me is big. So Thunder Rosa, yo, I send a positivity towards your way, good faith, good everything, because you may be one of one, but you're creating one of one of other females within the wrestling business. Yeah. Thank you.
We have to, like I said, we have to empower each other, and not just as a hashtag. It's like a real, like, you have to live what you're saying. And I'm all about empowering. I don't like bullies. I don't like women that are, use that and then they make you feel like shit. Because like I said, it happened to me so many times. And I like a lot of the anecdotes. Oh, you guys, I haven't even told them because I didn't. But I don't want the new generation to say parents are assholes. Like, it's like I gotta act that way too. Like, no, not at all. Hold the other girl's hand and be like, I got you, girl. Let's do this together. Let's have fun. Let's show what women, like, women's wrestling really is, that we're a draw, that people should respect us forever and ever and ever, that we should never ever go back to being just a sex symbol or something like that. Yes, you can be a sex symbol. Yes, you can put your bikini pictures. I love putting bikini pictures, I'm not gonna lie. But I like at the same time, I embrace my athleticism, and I show it in the ring because it's part of me. I think everything is, like I said, accept us for who we are, with our beauty, with our strength, with our sexiness, with our love handles, with our scars, with everything.
All of the above.
All of the above, because that makes us beautiful. That makes us different.
We appreciate you coming on. It's thank you so much. I think you're gonna be on PWI's top 10 next year.
I'm sitting on my chair for that.
Nah, you are top 15. You made. You probably gonna be in number the way you're going right now. You're top 10.
I thought this year I was gonna be top 10. And I was 14, so I was like,
yeah. But you went up from what was it? Weren't you 40 the year before?
Oh, I was like 98.
He said, "Boy, I was 98. That's a big improvement."
She got the biggest jump ever.
But that's what I'm saying, guys. Is like, yo, people are gonna tell you, people are not gonna give you the respect that you deserve. You take that.
You gotta take it.
You take that by working harder than anyone. You know, but again, by helping, by making things better, not by bitching, but by working hard and making it better. And I keep doing that because I love it. I love doing that. And it's like I said, it's growing, and many other girls are getting their names out there. They're going to places, and they came with us at first, and I would just give them a little push, and they just running with it. And it's so beautiful to see them flourish, and it's so beautiful to see them grow and be successful. Their success is my success.
Amen.
Don't we always say that?
You want to end it for us?
Yes. Before I do allow Miss Thunder Rosa to plug herself, I do want to thank you too as well, because as a woman of color and being, always look like you can't do it, you can't say this, you can't do that. For you to not only have your own school, but your own promotion, and it be over 90% ran by women, I thank you, because you doing that opens doors for women like me and someone else that either wants to get into business, whether it's backstage or front stage. So you keep doing what you have to do to keep breaking those barriers, because it's not easy.
Amen.
I've experienced it myself. It is not easy. So from us to you, thank you so much. Next time, do you know when your next show is?
My show is on May 1st. We're gonna be live on titlematchnetwork.com. You guys can purchase that. I won't be wrestling a woman. I have a feud with David LaGreca. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but you see me like doing a lot of tagging him on Twitter. He bandwagon Britt Baker.
Oh, so you gotta take that down.
Yeah, so coming to the show, and like I said, we sold so many tickets because we have this feud, and people want me. They want to see me beating the F out of him. So probably gonna be his funeral debut. And we have absolutely amazing matches coming up. I'm really excited about Red Velvet. She's gonna be in our show against La Rosa Negra. La Rosa Negra is the teacher of Red Velvet. So it's a teacher versus
a student.
It's gonna be great, and that's for pro wrestling title. And we have Holiday versus Genocide. This is their second match. Last time they tore the house down. I know this time is gonna be even better. Like I said, you guys can check us out at missionprowrestling.net. Again, diversity is so important in our shows. You can see how diverse our shows are, and we love it. And there's a lot more stuff coming out our way, and good things are gonna happen for our girls in the independent scene, because we're making it happen. And like I said, we never had empty promises. Like everything that we have told them, we have covered and done, and we're just gonna continue with that promise, is to make things better for women in the rest.
Where in Texas are you guys located?
We run in Buda, Texas, which is between Austin, which is 30 minutes south, and San Antonio, which is an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, you're right in the middle.
Oh, so they're more okay.
Yeah.
So I've never been to Texas, so
this shows,
I have to make a trip.
These shows are hot, and I'm telling you, the fans are hot. Like our ladies make, thankfully, thank to all the fans, they make so much money on merchandise. The fans that just come and just literally like, gives my money. So we are so blessed that even with a pandemic, we were able to take care of the girls, health wise, and our fans. We never had any issues with having an outbreak of COVID because we make sure that either our girls are vaccinated or take their test before they come to the show.
That's good.
So yeah, so let Sir Wilkins know any upcoming shows. My best friend lives in Houston, so I'm definitely in Texas at least twice a year.
You gotta come, girl.
So we'll come out, and also send us any sponsorship opportunities. We would love to support you in any way we can. So ending it off, please let everyone know where to find you. Social media, plug away.
Social media at all my handles at Thunder Rosa 22. You can. I am.
Is there a reason for the 22?
That's my birthday. Day.
What month?
July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the reason for Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at that. And then my website is thunderrosa.net, and for Mission Pro Wrestling is missionprowrestling.net. If you guys, like I said, want to see the show live and you're not in Texas, you can go at titlematchnetwork.com. And you can see our previous shows, and we also have a YouTube page for Mission Pro Wrestling.
Nice.
They're live right now interviewing one of the girls from El Paso, Texas.
She plugged.
She out here doing double duty.
Facts.
We're like, so we're building. We're trying to use this as a platform for them, and like I said, people like you guys, and so many different sponsors. This show alone, we had 14 sponsors.
Oh wow!
Nice.
So that allow us to give more opportunities to girls that are not necessarily living in the state of Texas, and they're not well known, and they wanna be seen. And honestly, people are watching our show. The right people are watching our show. So, ladies, if you guys want to participate, you know what to do.
There you go. Well, on that note, thank you, Thunder Rosa, once again for joining us on this special edition of the JTP Lounge. You guys, once again, can follow us at the Jobbertears Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and also our YouTube page. My love, thank you so much. And we hope to see you soon.
Oh, you're going to see me soon. And like, ladies, guys, stay strong even when things are not going your way. When you feel that they're crushing you down, that the words are like penetrating your heart, that is when you find the moment in where you either it's going to break you or make you. And I hope it makes you instead of breaking you.
There you go. That's how we leave it off. #Black Excellence. #we are out.
Is over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans, you gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes and Noble.